I'll say it.
Now I won't say this word that'll get me fucking canceled before I'm famous. Oh, god damn it.
What a concept. Yeah, I got canceled before I was famous. It was fucking sick.
That would be fucking hilarious, though.
Oh, I guess I'll do this one. I don't want to do it, but I'll do it. Fucking idiot, dude.
We're all fucking
I
idiots.
was gonna see that purchase and be like, what the fuck did you buy? I mean, if you're uneducated, not a lot. If you saw this and if this shit was on, dude, they need to put like kilos of sheesh on The Price is Right. And
That is really funny that you like.
you can't play if you like ever bought it because it's just cheating. I want to just see what normal people. Have you ever bought a kilo of sheesh? For this much? What would you guess? You're like this size, this much. It's a kilo, 1,000 grams. How much would you think this costs?
A kilo?
Yeah.
You only have.
It's so expensive you have to talk about like it's cocaine.
I was gonna say, yeah, the only thing I have experiences with is. So honestly, I have no
Of the
idea.
illicit kind.
I have no idea. 200
For both or each?
for shisha.
Okay, well, no, thank fucking God. Then I would have been like, okay, no, that's too much. I'm gonna take that back.
Really?
So these are about $65 a piece,
Oh wow, yeah.
which just for mushy backy is kind of a lot. But
Yeah, I think a kilo of cocaine would be like 20 grand or whatever.
yeah, that's. It also does a lot more than shisha does.
I mean, they're both addictive substances in their
Yeah,
own
but
way.
one's like, no, they're not comparable.
You know, all this talk, I almost want to do the little key bump. Shisha, I'll settle on some shisha.
Want a bump of shisha? Is that what you said?
Dude, I know a bunch of kids that used to
Dude,
just
should
fucking
we
use
start-
this chew.
Should we start fucking dealing sheesh? No fucking joke. Go to Tony's with little fucking.
The problem
bags.
is how do people fucking smoke fucking...
No, it's not the point. Like after we're selling cocaine, and then when we make the purchase, we just hand a little bag of sheesh.
I think this is how we get shot.
Like $50 a gram, man. Like,
I mean,
what?
that's also a good point, but
This is red and juicy. I was looking for that white.
looking for that white powder, man. Yeah, but I got the next big thing, dude. I got the red slush.
God damn it with this fucking double bullshit. You see this?
Figure your shit out. No, I'm
Selects all the vehicles.
trying not to burn
Is it
myself.
all vehicles? Okay, so we need to select this one too, huh?
Probably.
All vehicles. Oh,
It
Stop
did
being
this to me
fucking-
twice, dude.
not being a robot.
A robot can figure this shit out now.
Well, that makes you.
This shit is fucking wasteful. Bus. You fucking... Thank you. I was like, if that fucked it up, I'm gonna be pissed.
You know, restart and re-click all the buses.
You like bus?
Like click bus.
You click bus? There we go.
You know stream because you know bus. This bowl might suck.
How?
Huh? Because I'm making it.
You put 2 flavors in there.
I did.
That's all you need.
I somehow know how to fuck things up.
And this
What
man
do
is a
they-
child.
I feel your pain. Oh, something.
Yeah, those things are super easy to fuck.
They're like fucking like rug burn from the goddamn tube too. On my arm, which hurts more than everything else. And it's just like a fucking rub mark in my elbow. It's fucking annoying.
It really
Some
makes me.
cream or something. Got some CBD cream.
No, I heal quick enough anyways. It's not a big deal. It's just fucking annoying.
Yeah, your foot and your arm at the same time. I'm sure.
Well, I got both feet because I got bloody on this side too.
It does make me feel better about that one night that we went out though and I was having issues.
Except for that you weren't doing anything.
I was just a mess.
Yeah. So we go out and we pretend we're like 22, which we're like, I mean, again, he's 27, so like he's a little closer. Whereas like we are 35, or you're close to 35, and I'm 35. So we're out. Fucking, we go to fucking Rec Room and then Bondi, and we're just being fucking like shot. No, we had a blast. Don't get me wrong.
For some reason, that night Bondo was like vibing.
Yeah, we were having a fucking ball at the time, to be honest. Nobody was being bullshit. It is what it is at this fucking point. We'll wrap it up before I fucking go put socks on it. Don't worry.
It's up to you, man.
But his stomach starts having issues with whatever we had to eat that night or something when we're in Bondi. So this man, late Bondi night, like 12:30, 1 o'clock, has to take shit in Bondi.
Oh yeah,
I've been there before. You're like sweating bricks and you're like, fuck, dude, what am I gonna do right now?
just hover dumped.
So he does that, whatever, and then we walk home because it's fucking nice out. We're just fucking chilling.
And there were cops everywhere. So
As long as you didn't have to settle with the urinal or something.
Oh, just wait.
Just back it up to you.
So we're just fucking vibing, and this man goes, I gotta take a shit again.
No, that wasn't what was first.
Which one was first? Oh, your bloody nose.
My nose just starts fucking bleeding. Out of nowhere. I just do this.
I
It's like,
forgot
oh,
about
fuck.
Yeah, he's
blood.
Gnarly bloody nose. I did forget about the bloody nose.
I think I have a picture of me all fucked up. Because I took a picture of myself to see how bad it was. I think it's probably still in there.
You're like, wow, that's just fucked up.
And I look like a mess.
So we're walking back, gets a bloody nose.
Oh, good.
I think
I deleted the evidence.
He's like, fuck, I have to fucking take a shit like fucking now. So there's a tree that got fertilized from here to downtown somewhere. And then your fucking nipples started bleeding too.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere.
They were
like Ebola?
They were like rubbing on my shirt and started bleeding.
Just how much dancing you're doing?
I guess. I don't
my
fucking know.
nipples, my nose, my nipples, I'm shitting everywhere.
It's a fucking mess, bro.
Whoa, yeah.
all in one like 2-mile walk home.
Yeah, it was very good. It's a lot. I'm just an efficient man.
I guess if you're gonna like fuck up from on your walk home, you know? Because imagine leaving the fucking bar at that point, your nipples are bleeding through your shirt, your nose is bleeding. It looked like you got fucking like nipple clamp punched in the face, like some like bullshit in the club. Crazy.
I'd be questioning some shit. If it was like bleeding through your shirt, there was like red dots here.
Well, so luckily it was a red and white. It was like a button-down shirt, but it was red and white print. So I don't think I even noticed till when we got here. Something was in the light, and I looked down, and in the white you could see little specks of red. And went, what the fuck? And I opened up my shirt.
You noticed when we were by CSU.
Did
nipples,
I?
yeah.
Somewhere around light, probably.
It was after you took a shit.
That was aggressive.
Yeah.
I heard she squirted all over that tree. And then I no wipe. What do you gotta just fucking walk back? Came here and just went straight to the bidet and gave myself a wash.
The bidet is nice. I did try that last
I think I also threw my underwear away.
Yeah.
In your trash can. If I remember right.
Well, you slept here.
Because it wasn't right. But when I went to the bidet,
so like we were fucked up enough that we ate the food or whatever, and then like we hung out for a little while, and then he was like, so I brought all the blankets and the pillows and shit, and I find him at 10 o'clock in the next morning, just fucking face first, legs out this way. No pillows, no blankets, no nothing, just fucking
face down,
yeah, like breathing into the fucking, like making like the fucking, because it's fucking leather, just fucking see. You're just making the fucking noise.
You wish you could sleep like that most nights when you're like just fucked up in the worst position possible and you still somehow like just black out.
that was me. Yeah.
It was just super funny. Wow, see how you did on this one.
Telling you, man. Don't expect anything.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What flavor tonight? Was it the same as last Friday?
There's gum.
Basically.
Yeah.
Kind of, but there's gum.
Okay.
So
I had gum too.
it's gum.
I had cinnamon gum.
This is gum with mint and then kiwi.
Yeah, at least you got like two good flavors. You didn't buy like fucking like
Guava and
grapefruit.
fucking grapefruit.
Because they both are not good. They smell great, but
I almost got grapefruit. I was like, that kind of sounds good. I was like, every time I think that, it's fucking trash.
It's
I was
always
super fucking stoked for guava and pineapple. Pineapple's not bad. Guava's disgusting.
I have no idea on the whole level of deliciousness with the shisha, I guess, but grape does sound good. It was like grape.
Grape is good.
Juice.
I mean, grape is more like white grapes.
Okay.
So not like Kool-Aid grape. Like that's like, I think there's Purple Haze from Fantasia. Tastes like purple drink.
Mm.
Oh, what was that really good one? It was named after like a fucking state or some shit. What was that?
Nevada.
It
It
that
was
was
some
a flavor.
bullshit flavor. It was some bullshit flavor that was a fucking Smoky Monkey and also, I think it was like a cocktail flavor or some bullshit, but the name of it was Nevada.
Does that make your mouth feel dried out and depleted like a desert? Or
No, it tasted like a cheap stripper in a casino floor.
It did have like a dark, like,
Have you
old
tried, like,
people in a
musky
fucking
type of-
casino.
yeah.
You know that when you go into a shitty casino and it has like that.
It was like there's a
smell,
casino.
taste,
There's
like
gonna
a
be a
nursing
casino.
home? And you, like,
Not like a nursing home, but like cigarettes and cheap wine.
And like Aquabelva.
Yeah.
But it's like someone, like an old dude smoking a cigar, keeled over at the slots.
Yeah.
But this company also makes shisha out the back, so they cremated him and just sprinkled it into the fucking stuff. Boom!
Yeah, it was
Nevada!
just- and
It's gonna fucking
it,
suck.
it tasted just like a shitty casino. Like, honestly. Because it wasn't like disgusting where you're like, ugh. But it wasn't like you're like,
It wasn't
yeah.
unfamiliar.
Yeah, it wasn't something you want to like buy again. Because you know, like a shitty casino, you can have fun in and like you're okay. Like it's not like you're grossed out.
But you don't go like every night.
It's like we went. It was after the comedy show last week. We went to fucking Lucky Joe's and somebody had yacked in there, like on the floor, and it was just
In the
like
bathroom?
no, like
Just in general?
yeah,
Okay.
just like in the
Where?
fucking bar.
Like in the front?
I have no idea.
Oh, you
It just
smell
smelled it.
Oh god!
That like
I would have walked in, threw up in the peanuts, and left.
I
Oh,
don't have the penis because of the.
fucking, they're in shells. Don't eat the shell. Fucking animals.
Yeah, sounds like a great place to get COVID. Just people stuffing their hands into the fucking.
Just pre-bag 'em.
or taking shots when it already makes you feel like shaking it off.
Just
Yeah.
you got a guy with fucking gloves and little solo cups.
He's got like a fucking scooper. He's like,
Oh,
you
just
get one.
scooping your
You
nuts.
get one. You get one.
Would you like me to scoop nuts, sir? I'll scoop your nuts.
Sounds like a very dumb scenario to me.
I remember when
We need to make sure we got fucking audio, but I'm pretty sure we do.
I remember when Texas Roadhouse fucking stopped doing the peanut thing for a while
Yeah.
because there was like some
Yeah.
bullshit.
Get yourself a beer. if
There
you
was some
want.
bullshit
Wait,
with like
bring it
the.
over on the
No,
table.
I got one. We can
I'm-
just.
Alright.
I'm still
We'll
drinking
get
rum.
and get it. So normally we don't do what Evan does,
you
which
took
is.
the last. Oh,
Alright, yeah, we just rush from the grid.
it's okay.
Sorry, my bathroom's also disgusting. I didn't get time to clean it today.
No, I'm sure
Probably-
it's probably still pretty clean though.
Covered in blood and shit. If you get some money, you just stand in the shower and turn the knob on the toilet.
Sorry, my bathroom. Yeah. We got audio, so we're good. Gucci.
Yeah, like there was a time when Texas Roadhouse had like a health department complaint. Because, you know, it's the same thing there, like when you're in the waiting room, you just throw the shells in the fucking ground.
Right.
No one gives a shit. But there was a time when they had to stop doing that. Like, they stopped offering peanuts altogether. And then something happened and they just brought them back. It was like a health thing, like, no, we can't do the peanuts anymore. The health department shut that down. But, like, they're fucking shells.
Well, again, it's just.
And they limit it to one room. You're allowed to do it in the waiting room. So you walk in there, there's benches lining the wall, and it's just the floor, it's just a barn. You can't even see the floor, it's just shells.
No one else wants one?
No.
I just got one,
Good.
so. Super solid. I don't remember. I never really liked Texas Roadhouse that much.
Oh, you're good. I'll sit right here.
I mean, I like they've got their fucking version of the cactus blossom thing, their fucking fried onion appetizer. That's good. I like that. Also, taking people there for birthdays is fun. It's they make you put the shitty little cowboy hat on and get on the saddle and ride it while they sing you happy birthday. So I did that for my brother's 21st birthday. We went out to dinner before we went out because I knew they did that. They come over with this shitty little like plastic kid's cowboy hat. He's always sitting on this saddle like fucking
I think there just
thing.
be more places that just do shitty birthday celebrations.
Jaws does that.
Yeah.
So my brother, we went for sushi and we dined in and they made him wear this like stuffed animal octopus hat thing that like you could fold inside out. So he like, I don't know. While he ate a piece of octopus and then he took a shot with a piece of octopus in it.
Yeah, the jactopus.
Is that what it's called?
That's what they do, yeah.
Yeah, he wore a squid fucking hat though. I got a picture of it somewhere, but it's pretty funny.
They didn't have us wear the hat. I think that was kind of when they first opened back up after. It was somewhere like closely related to COVID. They weren't doing the hat thing.
I was like,
But yeah, it's
I
just a
didn't
shot
realize your
of.
brother was 6 years younger than you.
My brother's 6 years younger than me.
What?
He's not.
Then he's 5? It was last year, 21st. So it could be COVID, it was last year.
No, we're talking about a different thing. Now we're talking about the jactopus.
I know, but your brother.
What
I
about-
just said that out loud.
What about my brother?
Being like 5 or 6 years younger than you. I didn't
No.
realize it.
And my brother's 6
Then
years
there's
younger
not
than me.
COVID related with no hat.
No, so the
Oh,
the
the
jock thing was
octopus.
me and McKenna.
Oh, okay.
Our birthday.
I got you.
Yeah. The other thing was that was our birthday.
Okay, I was like, man, I didn't realize he was that much fucking younger than you. But my brain
That's only 2.5 years.
completely
Yeah,
wrong
I
on
can
that.
do math.
Burning good.
Fucking idiot.
I didn't know his fucking birthday.
Your math was correct.
I met your brother one time, and that was when he helped us move the couch that we didn't need his help for.
Yeah,
You met
that's
him
nice.
before that.
No,
Really?
no.
What a bitch.
Here, we can move that closer too.
Ooh, I should eat. Fuck. God damn it.
It's not a problem.
Say eat?
Yeah.
Or some food or what?
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I don't know.
He has this problem. I have this problem. We have this problem.
We never know, but it always seems to come back to wings.
Well, that was like why it was so nice. Like last week, you were just fucking chilling at Chiba Hut when I suggested, and like I was like, "Oh, he's at Chiba Hut." And I was like, "Oh, perfect."
I'll bring it. Yeah.
Yeah,
No
that
worries.
was a
Bring it
perfect
over.
scenario. That's how I know Jeff. He used to work at Chiba Hut on Laurel way back in the day.
Dope.
Apparently, he's known Evan longer than I have, which is kind of crazy.
Speaking of this, what do you want to
That
eat?
is kind of crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you eaten?
I ate it like 2 hours ago, so I'm actually pretty solid.
Oh, okay.
It was the one meal that I had this day, but so I mean, I could eat, but
You could always could eat.
right.
We could both always could eat.
Yeah. We're both kind of fat. That's fine.
What's quickest, dude? I'm fucking hungry. Dough was 12 minutes. Taco Bell's 11 minutes. McDonald's is 10 minutes.
That's normally our late night orders at MacD's.
Yeah,
McDonald's.
Their new spicy chicken sandwich is kind of fire.
it is fucking great. Even Burger King came out with
I heard that theirs is pretty good too.
It is pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Spicy chicken sandwich meal.
Yeah, last time I smoked hookah was last Friday, and the time before that was years. So. It tastes good. Satisfying, for sure.
Again, it's like we were talking about last week. I don't think it's not healthy by any fucking means, but this is not healthy by any fucking means. But
Relatively.
yes, relatively to other things that are bad for you, it's not that bad for you.
Which is all that
Fast
matters,
food,
really.
I guess, in a way, yeah. Nothing's good for you anymore these days. It all causes cancer or something.
Again, we live too fucking long.
You think?
Oh yeah, our bodies were designed to live between 30 and 40 years, and we live to like fucking 80 to 100 now. Yeah, we'd be fucking old men like 200 years ago.
I saw this random article.
So
that
that's
I was
why I feel
reading
the way
about.
You wouldn't be. You're just hit midlife.
No, I'm almost at 30, bro.
You still got 3 years before you hit 30.
Compared to the other 27 I've already lived, that's not a lot.
That's midlife.
I'm at 90% to 30.
40 was the insinuation age that I was putting there.
Okay, that'd still be like 75 compared to 100. It's still up there.
Right.
Starting to feel like shit.
I don't really feel like shit at all, almost ever.
Neither do I. Some stomach stuff or whatever.
Well, I mean, I've had stomach issues for.
Do you want anything?
What do you McD's?
Yeah.
Spicy chicken sandwich. Fuck it. Might as well.
Meal or sandwich?
I'll take fries too.
Do they have a vegetarian option?
Yeah.
Technically, it's
I
probably.
actually don't think they have any vegetarian anything there.
I don't think it's.
Fries.
Yeah, I guess their fries are vegetarian. You want some fries?
It's probably butter.
No, they just oil
Peanut
that
oil.
shit.
Peanut oil?
I don't think
No, it's not peanut oil. It's like cancer
vegetable
oil.
Yeah. It's vegetable oil.
Cancer oil. It's cheaper to just get a meal. What do you want to drink?
I guess just put a Coke on top.
Put a cock on top.
It'll put some Maker's Mark or something in it.
Ooh. That's a Reaper? Reaper juice?
I couldn't put enough in there to make it alcoholic though.
You could.
Yeah, but it'd be spicy as shit.
Oh yeah?
What's that? Is that moonshine that you were? The spicy,
Yeah.
the spicy thing, right?
You should try it.
He did try it.
Oh, nice.
Like a fucking, not even a drop on my tongue. I could feel the.
Yeah, dude, I want to see someone take a shot of that. Not me. But Eric, probably.
If I did, I'd probably shit and puke at the same time, honestly.
Are you hungry?
No, not really. I mean, I kind of, well, yeah, like you said, you know, I'm always hungry in a way, but.
He's doing the vegetarian thing.
Do you want fries?
You want a fruit parfait?
You want a banana strawberry smoothie? There's probably milk in it.
No, I'm good. Cause fries sound kind of good right now, but I'm good.
Alright?
I'm good. Thank you, though.
I'm sure he's gonna order enough that his fries are gonna be left over. So.
Nope, I'm ordering a meal. That's it.
Just it? Good.
That's
Because
it.
normally he orders
Dude,
like
I
fucking...
order fucking like 3 meals and eat almost all of it.
Yeah, no 50-piece McNugget this time, or?
No, I'll usually get like
I love the 50-piece McNugget with the fucking the 2 fries and 2 drinks for like...
the
$10.
tailgate meal. Fuck yeah. But I usually get like a meal and then maybe like another hot and spicy and maybe a McDouble.
Sure.
Oh, and then last time I got fucking like 10 cookies.
You gotta have some cookies in there.
I don't think I ate any. Like they sounded really good at the time, and then I got to the food. I was like, I don't want cookies.
Are you high or something when you order? Marijuana does that to me.
No,
It's like never go to the grocery store high sort of thing.
either not to do the podcast high because I do not talk.
Really?
I'm just sitting here and fucking zone out.
I had
Just-
4 drinks before it came, and I was kind of worried about my ability to kind of conversate, I guess, or something like that.
Like for me, like drinking usually doesn't. I more often than not get like more talkative and fun when I drink, unless I'm stuck in like somewhere, say like Kansas. But
No, I mean, like, last week was kind of a problem because me and Evan drank all day.
so that's different.
Yeah, we drank all day. Like, we went up to breweries and all that kind of shit. So, like, it was kind of like... Plus, I woke up early and we were up to, like, 4 on...
And day drinking just hits different.
When, you know, you don't put any water on top of it. You're kind of like, I'm fucked.
This shit just busted, you know? Fucking hate
Well,
that, dude.
we were at the comedy show on Thursday, and then we hung out at the bar and got the headliner to come hang out with us,
Oh, fuck yeah.
which was kind of dope. Apparently, we were, like, his favorite part of this whole trip, which was fucking... He, like, messaged Evan, like, Monday or something and said that. I was like, fucking rad. So then we were, and then like, Kay came out too for a bit, and so we were up till like fucking 4. And then I got at like 7:30, 8 o'clock and started working. So yeah, that's why like last week I was kind of like here, whereas like this week I'm like I played all day and just had a good time. So. My sister took us on a very adventurous. She had never done it. She just read some article or whatever and like put the spots in. So we jumped in like at Boulder Creek, and
Boulder Creek?
yeah, we went to Boulder. She works in Boulder. One of my sisters works in Boulder. So we were hanging out. We popped in there like west of the library, like way west. Like we were like, I don't know if you know where the Justice Center is in Boulder, but it's pretty far to the west.
Kind of like foothills.
Yeah, like basically, like we could have went a little farther up and would have been in the fucking mountains, basically.
Sure.
Started there, and then like all the way on the east side of Boulder. It was like a fucking 9-mile fucking trek on the fucking water, which is forever. It was like 3.5 hours on the water, and it was moving pretty quick. But like the last like 3 miles were pretty rough.
Yeah.
It like I blew the tube up that I was like riding on. Like it was like
Sounds like a fun time.
It was a fun time. But it was a long ass fucking trip.
Yeah, 3 hours is legit for a tube for the day though, you know.
Yeah, and this is in the creek, like, and then what's great about like when you're going through like downtown by CU and shit, it's like a bunch of dams and shit. So like it was fucking like it was actually really fun. I think we did the top side and like went up a little bit farther, so like there was a couple more spots you could fucking dive in. But it was a long trip for sure. Plus the traffic on Fridays is absolutely the worst.
Yeah, that definitely adds to it when you gotta drive that far. That sounds worth it though. It sounds refreshing.
Yeah, it was great. 10 out of 10 would do it again. Just not the last 3 miles. The last 3 miles were a little much. And then we parked like half a mile away from the fucking river too. So I'm all bleeding, walking half a mile with fucking no shirt on, just fucking bleeding nipples. Like, and they weren't like dripping blood, so that was plus. But, like, my nipples are always kind of
with all these bloody nipples.
Well, it was just from being on the tube all day and swimming on it and shit.
It's fucking disgusting if you ask me.
Getting all chafed. That was the worst part about getting the shower afterwards. Was definitely.
Yeah, this honey brown's pretty good. I haven't had one of these for a while.
It's not bad. I just don't like. I can drink like 2 or 3 of them,
That's
and
the
I'm
thing.
kind of
I'm
like.
sure they get old real quick.
Yeah, but like for like the first like couple beers, they're not bad. They're cheap as shit. It was like $16 for a 30 rack.
Oh, that's not bad at all. It was like Rolling Rock. Is that cheaper than Rolling Rock?
It is cheaper than Rolling Rock. One night, me and Travis.
Oh, it's 4.5 too. I go over to guess a little more, but
Me and Travis took to have like weird shit on the podcast. So we'll buy like all sorts of random ass fucking drinks. Smirnoff Ice, like all this random dumb shit. And one time we bought a fucking 12-pack of fucking Four Loko.
Oh god.
Which are 14%. And they're 12, as you know, there's 12-ounce cans or whatever, those are the big ones. And it was like $15 for like the 20-pack for a 12-pack. And all of them but one were good. So like the green apple tasted just like a green apple Jolly Rancher. I drink those all day. They can get hammered. The grape was like, it's a drink. It's not bad. I'll drink it. Actually, the seltzer that was in that one was like a mango orange or something. That was pretty good.
Mango, yeah.
But like the blue raz.
That was gross. Everything else is good, but
we should have just threw that last one away.
Yeah.
There's no alcohol though, right? You said?
No, they're 14%.
Well, no, sorry, I meant caffeine.
There's no caffeine, yeah.
No caffeine anymore.
Anymore, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, these kids these days don't get to experience what we got back in the day.
We haven't had fucking blue shit in a while.
Juice?
Oh, not juice.
Definitely
That
not
shit was
juice.
fucking gross.
It's disgusting.
Blue
But-
juice?
No,
No,
it's like
fucking-
this stuff. It's called juice, and it was gross. But you mean hypnotic?
Hypnotic, yeah.
Oh.
Hypnotic is fucking delicious. But yeah, we like doing dumb shit on this fucking podcast.
Dude, if I knew that I was gonna spend $150 on tobacco, I would have went and got like 10 bottles of Hypnotic and just went nuts. Fuck it.
Hypnotic was pretty good. I enjoyed that. I haven't had that for years though. Yeah, when I heard blue juice, me and my brother doing that psychedelic mushroom kind of thing or whatever I was telling you about before, and Paul Stamets, he's the lead mycologist for mushrooms. But yeah, he I don't know. Obviously, he probably didn't invent it or figure it out. For the first time someone did this as far as the cold extraction was an ice extraction from fresh magic mushrooms, and you soak them in ice for a couple days. And it literally turns the water blue and all the psilocybin comes out into the water. And then you can freeze, he was joking, Paul Stamets was joking about taking blue juice ice cubes to Burning Man would be perfect, You extract the psilocybin into the water and you freeze it in ice cubes and then you just drop a couple cubes in your drink or whatever out in the desert. And,
I mean, fair.
sounds like a pretty good time.
Yeah.
It's kind of as microdose the whole fucking time. Because you're not like, it's not like gonna come out quick. So I guess it depends on how much you have in there.
Yeah, you never really know too when it's a home extraction.
A little bit different.
I don't think we're gonna have a third for that 2-week-long one. Registration ends in an hour. We still need a third. Teddy's talking about fucking driving range.
Well, it's just Seth was talking about hitting balls.
I know, I was thinking that too. I was driving past the golf course today. I was like, dude, I want to go golfing.
Fucking hate golfing. Can't do it.
You go to drink and you hit shit while you're doing it.
Yeah, I'd just rather not hit shit like all this fucking drink.
Just get in the cart and fucking drink.
I don't need to pay an extra like $20 just to drink.
It's an experience.
You're saying you'd rather not get wasted while you.
I just don't like golfing. I don't fancy it whatsoever.
Yeah, you just be our chauffeur. We got a cart. You chauffeur Seth and I around and we all just drink.
No, I definitely don't want to do that.
You want to drive a cart and drink?
I used to have when I was a kid, we had a Harley Davidson golf cart. Back when they used to make golf carts back in the day. It was a 3-wheeler, 1 longer, 2-stroke. It was fucking super fun to ride around.
3-wheeler golf cart?
Yeah, it had like
Is it one in the front or the rear?
one in the front.
Woo boy.
And so you could drive it from either side because it was just a fucking pole bar.
Nice. Fuck yeah.
We used to drive that shit all around town, just having a good old fucking time.
We had one.
Like 10 years old, fucking driving around this golf cart just down the street. It's fine.
When I was hanging out in Berthoud, my buddy had one, just like an old electric golf cart. And dude, we almost lit the field on fire behind his house. Cause we were fucking around and we almost killed that thing that night. But I remember we were riding it hard, like loading it up. It's not meant to do anything.
No,
and all of a sudden
not.
I was like, dude, did you put underglow on this thing? Like, no, the fucking coils where the battery are glowing beet red, and I'm driving through a dry field. So we pulled that over, and then we let it cool down, and then he had a basketball hoop, on his driveway that came with the house, and he didn't want it anymore. So we're fucking ramming the golf cart into the, pole, trying to knock that thing out of the ground. We hit it so hard, there was, the reinforcement bar on the front. We somehow, bent it enough to lodge it, then it snapped back in place, so it was stuck between the body and the fucking reinforcement bar. So we're sitting there, spinning it around, trying to get it out. We fucked that golf cart up. Golf carts are fun, dude.
They can be fun.
We were doing wheelies.
Just have somebody stand on the back and push it down.
Oh, and then we finally got the hoop down. We tied the base of the pole. No, that's right. It still had the concrete block on it, so we put it where the golf bags usually sit. And then somebody would stand on the fucking backboard. We'd haul it down the street, and someone's just standing on kind of ghetto-ass concrete surfing. That's what started to light it on fire.
Yeah.
It's a lot of weight.
I'm sure smashing it into this fucking pole.
It's in the front. There's nothing important in the front. Besides the steering and stuff. All the power is under the seat.
Right. I've worked on those ones before.
Yeah.
The 36 volt or the 48 volt ones where they have big old lead acid batteries and they do 5 miles an hour.
Yeah. It's fun though.
You ever know the Augustine family? Augustine Machine? They'd always go to Bandimere. Alex Augustine was one of my buddies I grew up with, and I remember going to his house. I don't know, it was like a little party or something he was hosting, but we were driving his golf cart around on his property and we ended up flipping it, and I was on the passenger side, and I don't know how we didn't get fucked up. It landed on the roof, and I flew out and rolled out of that shit.
My cousin was driving ours one time, and we had all of the cousins were in it. There was 6 of us in this fucking thing, and it's a fucking 2-seater, no seat in the back. It just had a fucking it was a big area just because when those ones were designed with the cars, the clothes would face lay down, so let's say you're driving this way, they're laying that way as well. So it was a weird setup, just old school shit. We had I don't know, 7 or 8 of us in this bitch, and she drove into a fucking car on the property we used to drive around in, and fucking people were fucking yeeting themselves over and shit, just because it would do fucking 15. It was not a slow one, even with that many people. Just, and that's when we learned that she was gonna be a bad driver. She was not of age to drive yet, but she was still a bad driver. And this is 30 years later. Not quite, but close. Still, just a bad driver.
How many people did you say were hanging off of that thing?
We probably had like 7 or 8.
I was gonna say, I probably didn't help the situation. It was super fucking top heavy.
She just drove it into the fucking car. It was like this old like 50s Chrysler car, so it didn't do anything to the car. Just like, and to fighting a fiberglass fucking golf cart.
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
I also remember that it was I couldn't go because I was throwing that house party at my mom's old house. But when that same birthday group turned my friend's pontoon boat into a little submarine for a bit. Did I tell you that?
No.
There's too many people on the boat. It's like a big pontoon boat, but there were like 18 people on this thing.
Yeah.
Which is fine until they all stand on the front. And it just fucking dipped and started taking on water. It's fucking hilarious. I wish I could have been there.
Luckily, pontoon boats, even if you do like sink them,
they'll come back up.
Yeah, they don't really sink. Whereas like a regular boat, like if you bow in a fucking regular boat, you're done.
What was funny is that they inspect your boats before you go, especially pontoon boats. They'll check, make sure the pontoon's okay, no holes, whatever. We got the green flag to go in. We come out, dude. It looked like everything went to war. Pulled it out onto the trailer, and the fucking pontoons were just like fountains, just coming out of the side of the pontoon.
Did I ever tell you about the pontoon boat that I wanted to build?
No.
So years ago, when I lived with Evan, actually, Evan has this obsession with just collecting shit, like car stuff. That's too much. He had this box of like 200 carburetors. It's because Evan, for no reason. They weren't for anything specific. There's just the pilot. Yeah. But we have this this Thunderbird. It was like a 88 or 89 turbo coupe. 4-cylinder, 5-speed. Well, somehow he came up with another fucking engine and transmission combo for it. Like just another turbo, fucking 2.3, chilling there waiting. And I had the plan somewhere. It's in my fucking data somewhere, an old hard drive or something. And I was gonna get a bunch of those blue fucking like food like molasses containers, like 55-gallon drums with their blue and plastic. And I was gonna buy like 7 or 8 of those and build a fucking like a self-driving boat so you could drive it to the fucking shit. It was a 5-speed. So you'd be like on the fucking lake with like 150 horsepower. It'd be fucking super silly.
I saw a sick, the gunner boats, like the police use and stuff. They kind of have that almost, they look like inflated. They've got that shape with the captain's thing in the middle. I saw a sweet TikTok where this one had wheels to put it in the water.
Yeah, it'd be fucking
on the trailer, just like these wheels flip out like landing gear, and you drive the thing into the water, and then you go.
I think it'd be fucking rad.
I also think if you can't back a fucking trailer into the water, you shouldn't buy a boat. So I was kind of conflicted.
Well, I also agree with that.
Did I tell you when we almost sunk? So my brother's friend's boat in Sterling. Did I tell you that?
No.
So that's what my brother.
I have a story about almost.
That's when my brother figured out what a fucking plug was. Because the guy sent him like all the instructions, plugs in the glove box, whatever. And I don't know what he thought he was talking about. He found something in the glove box he thought was a plug. It wasn't. So, and we're like, he was taking carp fishing, or bow fishing for carp out there. And we're out there, like, the boat's taking on water. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, this boat's okay, right? He's like, yeah, it's fine. And then he said something, because we're taking on like a decent amount now. We're starting to get worried. I'm like, okay, something's not right. And like the inside the boat, the hole's already full. Like inside the boat is starting to fill with water. And he's talking. He says something about a plug. I was like, in the glove box. So I opened the glove box. The plug's right there. I was like, we need to go back now. And I hop out like on the dock, run to the truck, back the trailer really quick, and get it out. That thing drained for maybe a good 20 minutes.
I got a pretty similar story. There was this one boat. I had to put an engine in it, and so I probably showed you the picture of like when my shop was not supposed to, capable of fucking putting an engine in a boat. Because, they're fucking mid-engine, that kind of shit, and they're fucking
They're not
trailer.
easy to do if you don't get
No. So I got really good at, I've done a few of them, let's just put it this way, like by doing this, is chaining the engine hoist
cherry picker to a forklift.
To a forklift.
Fuck yeah. That's the way to do it.
I've done it several times. But this one boat, so we get the engine's bad or whatever. It's a big boat. It's like a 30-footer. It's got like a walk-in like underhole, like it's huge. There's only like a 350 in it. It's just like one of those like you cruise around, just have a good time on. You don't give a fuck. So I put the engine in it, took it out in the water one time, and like, man, it's fucking overheating. Like maybe the pump's bad, or like I got bad thermostat or something. So I take it back to the shop. I do some things. I go put it back in there again, and this time, like I put it in there, I'm like halfway across fucking Horsetooth. I'm like, oh, it's not overheating this time. Maybe I fixed it. Well, I look down and the fucking bottom cabin is like filled, and I'm like halfway across Horsetooth. So I turn it around, get it back on the truck, fucking, and they like wouldn't let me drain it there, which they're like worried about like the fucking water or whatever. But I get on there, and it's like the trailer,
more water,
like
motherfucker.
dude, like the tires were like fucking, because this
Bottoming
big
out.
ass boat, like it
Full of
drained
water.
all. As soon as I got out of the park, I opened that bitch. It drained for like 2 hours. But like the pump had gone bad. What sucks about that? So I got the boat like working fine, all this stuff, and then the whole time that I had the boat, we had their truck too, and their truck was like, you know, it was just that's all they bought the truck for. Was like it was a pretty sweet like 92 like 460 stick shift fucking F-250. It was a pretty sweet truck or whatever. But I get the boat fucking working or whatever, and literally the first time they take it out, they like went to Grand Lake, Granby, and they didn't set the parking brake, and the truck rolled into the fucking lake.
Oh my god.
And I was like, God, that sucks real bad.
What? Oh,
Yeah, that's my sunk. I had literally like, there was probably 3 feet of standing water in this fucking boat.
I saw another video where it's just like it's just at first just an empty like loading ramp, and all of a sudden you see this fucking boat on a trailer come hauling ass backwards down the ramp. Then you see this person running after it. Then you see them dive out of the way, and this fucking SUV just plows into the fucking trailer and pushes it all into the water.
Did you see the one? It was recent actually, like in Saudi Arabia or something. They like the, you know, like a patrol boat style like boat where, and this dude's just chilling on there, but like they turn the camera and it's just like slowly rolling with the trailer into the water. No truck hooked to it or nothing, just slowly rolling in there. And this dude's like standing like he doesn't know what to fucking do. Like he's just totally like I have no idea.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. So he's just like it's just sitting there like rolling back in there. And then all of a sudden, again, SUV was a Nissan. The only reason why I know it's a Middle East is a Nissan Patrol. Fucking doing like 35 in reverse. Just.
It might have been the same one because it was a Nissan something.
Yeah.
And it comes flying in like the back window shatters on impact. Like it fucking hammers that trailer. I also saw one, this old dude in this cute little boat just trolling across the lake. And they zoom in. It's still fucking strapped to the trailer. He's driving around with the trailer still strapped to the bottom of the boat. It's going like nowhere. And all you can see is like on the back there were two posts sticking up. But like from his point of view, probably can't see it. He's probably confused as fuck why he's not moving.
Wait, maybe he just doesn't know that you're supposed to unhook it from the trailer.
I mean, apparently you don't have to. Like, it wasn't a speedboat. He was just out for the like leisurely drive. He was by himself. But
That'd be
so
fucking silly to
funny,
see
dude.
somebody driving around their fucking trailer on the boat. I mean, we've done a lot of dumb shit in boats, but like that's very dumb.
That's one thing that I lack experience with is water sports. I
Yeah.
haven't really done much water stuff. I don't really know much about boats or.
Boats
water.
are just expensive, man.
Well, it's just like a motorcycle or something, you know. I guess it's just.
But
like,
just
never stop
they
paying
cost so much more money.
them. Really?
So like the acronym for boat is break out another 1,000. So like you look at this, we're like a mod, like the boat that I want right now, brand new. It's a Supra.
Oh shit!
That was quick, right?
That was quick.
Is like $130,000. So like we're talking like half a house money like situation. But that's how expensive they are. And like even ones that are like, you know, 20, 25 years old that are kind of, you know, they're kind of done are, you know, looking at like fucking 30, 40 grand.
maybe. See, the Coca Dr. Pepper doesn't have the P on it, so I'm assuming.
I mean, you and I both. I mean, I don't care.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It was like buying another car, part of a house. Then
Right, and that's kind of thing. Is like, whereas like a motorcycle, like like a 20-year-old motorcycle is like $4 or $5 grand.
Depending. Well, I mean, yeah. I don't know. One of my buddies just rebuilt a Triumph, and that thing's like, I don't know what he said is probably worth. 25, I thought he said.
Well, that's pretty crazy. I mean, I don't know of any bikes like outside of like super nice like.
It's like an old school, like legit racing, like Triumph. Like super low miles, all original. Well, they rebuilt the engine, but the body and everything else is original.
Well, it may be one of those things where he put enough money and time into it to make it like it's a restored bike.
Right.
To cost that much because like typically like you think of like you buy a early 2000s like R6 or an R what's the R626 or whatever the fuck it is like Yamaha, like you can buy them for like $2 or $3 grand, versus like a 20-year-old boat right now is still going to be 50 G's.
Sure. Yeah,
and boats are generally junk, like comparatively.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like it's like a fucking think about like a camper or like a motorhome. They're just garbage inside.
Sure.
So like motorhomes, if you want to waste your money, just buy a motorhome. Motorhome or camper.
The two most things that suck to maintain, put them together, and fill it with fucking expanding foam. There you go.
Right. Plus, like you're trying to make it light, because like you don't want like a.
Yeah, you don't want to weigh a ton.
Right, you don't want like a 30,000
mile to the gallon.
And so like that's kind of the thing. Is like I know that it's a balancing act, but if you want to waste money, buying a motorhome or a camper is the way because they lose all of their value in 15 years. They're worth nothing.
My little brother just bought a bus. It was like a city bus, but for like Girl Scouts or something in Idaho. But he flew out there to Boise. Bought a bus and he drove it back and he's like redoing the whole inside, but it had like a brand new engine that they put in it. It was like a 7.3 diesel, like I don't know.
Well, honestly, that's probably the way to do it. Because like those buses, like again, like they're designed to last for fucking ever. Mm-hmm. And all the parts, you can usually get for 30, 40 years pretty easily. He's
like tearing out the whole inside right now, and the floor. He said once he got like up like the linoleum fucking bullshit or whatever the fake floor is. It was just like 3/4 inch plywood in it.
Yep.
Which is, I wouldn't have expected that, I guess, but I mean that's cool as shit. You just pull it up and put some more down, and you just reconstruct the whole inside.
Yeah, and so like the chassis and frames, they're all solid forever, so like you're good there, and then you could design it to where it's not garbage, and then it's still fucking diesel typically and that kind of shit. So
sure.
So there's a diesel performance shop up in Fort Collins. Starts with an L, rhymes with Bunsteads. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about?
I do. One of my friends works there.
I went to school with the kid.
Oh, really?
Well, the one of the guys that passed away.
Tyler?
Yeah.
Did you ever see or hear about the party bus they were building? Mm-mm. Their plan, I don't think it ever happened, but their plan was kind of cool. Like, if I ever have a stupid amount of money and just time, they had a school bus there. They were ready to do it. I don't think it ever happened because all of a sudden the school bus disappeared and I never heard anything from it. But they were turned into a giant like mobile party bus, but like super party bus.
Super party bus?
Part of it was the fucking in the back half. There was in the back there was a hot tub, but the side of the bus was supposed to flip down, and the hot tub was on a rail system, and you could push it out onto the deck.
I kind of remember this.
Yeah.
The reason why that one went away is because Tyler passed away. Because it was right around that similar time frame. I don't know if you know how he passed away.
It was up at Cameron, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were riding snowmobiles.
Oh fuck.
It was, I think, the year after I broke my legs. It might have been the same year.
Dude, so.
That was like a rough year for snowmobiles. Cause when I broke that weekend that I broke my legs, that kid, Caleb, died at the X Games doing that front flip. So it was a rough time frame.
I still remember the thing stuck in my brain. I think it was from the Olympics. Winter Olympics a few times back. Remember when that fucking loser died?
Yeah, that shit was wild.
He got thrown out of the fucking track into the beam. Did you ever see that?
I don't think so.
So he was doing.
Is fucking.
They were just doing practice runs, I think. They weren't even actually competing yet. And he was down in the luge. Something happened on a turn. It went sideways. It threw him out, and he was hauling ass. They're ice luging. Right into the fucking support beam.
So fucking
like the noise, and it was perfect. Like his lower back just right up against it. And he didn't die on impact, but he died on the way to the hospital, I think.
Dude.
I can't remember, but just the noise.
The
Because they
adrenaline
showed it.
kept-
They showed it on. Yeah, the adrenaline kept him alive. But they showed it on the news, like full graphic content.
Honestly, in a way, it sounds so horrific, these accidents, but at least they were doing something they fucking love.
Right.
You know?
Well, and that's the same
Right.
thing, like, even with your fucking. You should tell him how you broke your arm.
Are you left-handed?
I'm right-handed, thank God.
So it wasn't masturbating.
Hey, either way,
I guess
man,
it could have been.
I'm experienced, you know.
Yeah, doing the stranger.
Yeah.
Is that when you sit on it and where it goes
Right.
down?
You usually use your offhand also.
But now it doesn't have to be numb. It's just totally different. That's kind of an advantage.
No, so I don't know. I got into skydiving a couple of years, three and a half years ago, and I decided to take the natural next step and try to base jump. So I took the first jump course for base jumping, and I went up to Twin Falls, Idaho. I got 6 jumps in. My 6th jump, I just had a really bad landing, so I kind of stalled my canopy out like 20 or 30 feet off the ground, and I just kind of tanked it in, so I fell like 20 or 30 feet. And thankfully, I landed flat-footed. But normally, when you crash, land on with a parachute, it's called PLF, so it's a parachute landing fall. That's what the military teaches everybody. But you normally, you're trained to like roll it out forwards, kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
But since I stalled it out, I actually started to fly my canopy backwards slightly as I was approaching the ground when I impacted.
Fuck.
So I landed. I was flying backwards, and I landed flat-footed, and then naturally, the canopy's huge. With a base jumping canopy, it's twice as big as a skydiving canopy. But it pulled me a little bit off heading to the left backwards, and I like pile drive the whole left side of my body into the ground.
Fuck.
And had like a hematoma thing on my hip, where there's like a huge sac filled up with fluid.
Yeah.
And I kind of punched the ground more or less on accident, but I dislodged all my wrist bones into other areas. So they had to surgically like open me up and then put my wrist bones back, and then they put 5 pins in my wrist. And then I have surgery. I have it May 23rd, and then I have surgery again, like mid-September. Surgery and then another cast with physical therapy for a long time. So I didn't break anything. I just tore. Well, I shouldn't say just. It's like the worst wrist injury that you can possibly get. But all the bone-to-bone attachments are all torn, and they had to put them all back. So.
Jesus Christ.
But thankfully, I'm right-handed. And since I broke this arm in half before, I kind of know how important it is to just stay as active as possible, even though it sucks.
Yeah.
But I went to the PT the other day, and she said that she was super impressed. So I had pretty much all my finger movement back, but the doctor says hoping for like 50% mobility in my wrist. So he said I might not be able to do a push-up ever again. But I mean, you could do like a fist, right? So you just you adapt and you figure it out. So I'm not too worried about it. No regrets either way. Like for the last 15 years, I've wanted to lead up to this point and been able to jump off a bridge and base jump. Watching other people do it, you're like, how the fuck is this person able to maintain and control a soft mind, calmness, whatever it takes to like still be focused and just step off the edge so confident. And that's kind of like what I've been chasing for a long time. To be able to finally do that, it was my 6th jump. So I was hoping to get like 15 to 20 jumps, but 6th jump in, it was a bad landing. So it wasn't like my canopy didn't open or something like that. Or, you hear about it like a base jumping accident, and you think the worst.
Yeah, but you can tell it is.
down.
I was base jumping and smashed the ground. That's the only thing that happened.
I know, right? No, it seems weird talking about it because it's just a whole different idea of risk when you're more involved. And it's like this is like the natural next step of progressing in the sport is doing.
Well, I'm sure it's like being as into it as you sound like, I'm sure you've probably heard of that. I can't remember what his name was, but it was like a pair of good friends who were also really good at base jumping, and they were like squirrel suitors. Like, they did the whole thing. And that was probably one of the worst videos I've seen, where they're the kind that, like, they got to the point where they're trying to skim the fucking ground, like, they know what they're doing. And they were way high up, and one guy tried to skim this peak and fucking caught it.
Was that Jeb Corliss?
Maybe.
Did he hit his legs? Did he survive?
No.
Okay.
It was like high up on a mountain. He fucking clipped that peak, and the guy, like, you see his face. You can't see his face because he's got a helmet on. But he's just freaking out the whole time, just watching his friend die. Cause he clipped and then just fucking pummeled down the mountain. Like, you can see it.
Go in, it happens pretty fucking quick, you know. Like.
Really, hopefully he didn't feel it all the way down, because you can see it at first before he gets too far away. The GoPro or whatever action cam he had was good enough to where you could see just like his body, this little speck, just fucking bouncing off the mountain all the way down.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Because it wasn't like a nice hill; it was a fucking cliff mountain all the way down. So you can just see him hitting and bouncing off of shit. It's like, dude, hopefully, like, not to be a dick, but hopefully one of those first hits took you out. Because if you're alive during that whole
that's
fucking,
not big at all, you know. If you think about it.
I guess it'd be worse to like hope that you lived the whole fucking thing.
Well,
But
like you know, I mean, like he broke his legs. Like it depends on what you're doing. Someone
that's just
earlier
lack of
today.
experience.
Someone earlier today was like, that sounds like it fucking hurt, and it's like, you know, I don't know. I mean,
It does.
you know, like your toenail. I mean, not in the moment. It depends on what you're doing. You know, my adrenaline
Right.
was going through the roof, and I didn't feel shit.
Yeah, at the time, probably not.
I didn't even go to the emergency room. I drove myself to the hospital and went to Quick Care to be like, you know, I want to save money. I think it's just a sprained wrist. And they were like, oh, you know, good or bad news first. And I was like, good news. And they were like, oh, well, you didn't break anything, but bad news is you're gonna have to be sedated to relocate your wrist. So then they failed the first time, and then they had to sedate me a second time. And you know, I wasn't put under, but they gave me some sort of sedative, and it didn't work, and I was awake most of the first time. So then they started giving me other stuff, and they ended up giving me 3 different sedatives. And when I came out of it the first time, they were like, you know, I've never seen anyone deal, or like, you know, they were looking at my vitals on the screen, and my blood pressure and all my vitals didn't change at all. They're like, we've never really experienced this before, and they were like going to the max. That's why they had to keep switching sedatives, because they were already getting to like the limit of like an overdose.
Yeah, what they can do.
Right.
But to bring out the fucking horse tranquilizer.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was crazy. Ketamine's a whole different story. Like I thought I was dying both times. Not in a scary way, but it was, you know, shit. So it was like a DMT trip. I came out of it the first time and I thought it was kind of funny.
This is the first time in a long time that this fries have been garbage.
Really?
They're not great.
No, they're trash.
Garbage Mickey D's fries.
Yeah, that
I think-
never happened.
I think they've been sitting there for a while.
Yeah, they're not great.
I think we got like the bottom of an old batch.
from last night.
Yeah. Yeah, there's, well, we were even talking about like the toe thing. Like, just how when you hit something hard enough, like, and it doesn't hurt, like, you know it's adrenaline. Like, even when you do something like just a toe, like hitting your toe like that or whatever.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
As soon as I looked at it, I was like, God damn it, this is going to be fucked up. Just because, like, when I brought my legs, I didn't feel anything for an hour and a half.
Yeah, the adrenaline just takes over.
Like, it didn't hurt. I was just chilling. Like, I was cold because I was sitting in the fucking snow for an hour. But other than that, like, it was fine. And then I was like, oh, I'm like, you know when you like tell you're coming out of shock too, is because you start talking normal and stuff. You're like,
no.
you're like, no, you know this is gonna hurt.
Hurry, put me back in the shock.
Punch me in the face, something like.
Yeah, there was like when I've had one of my toenails removed for ingrown. It's like not as bad, obviously, as either of your situations. But the first time I what did they want to do the first time? So I did it twice, didn't I?
Yeah, you fucked it up once, and then
I went in once. What the fuck did they do the first time?
they just pulled it.
Oh, that's right. So yeah, the first time they just pulled it. They didn't like try to kill the root or anything. Because like most of the time it's okay. Yeah. But so they hit you with the local anesthetic, 4 shots at the base of the toe. Dude, the first time I went in, 4 shots and I was like instantly numb. They ripped it all out. Like I could watch it, you could feel like the pressure. You can't feel a single fucking thing. The second time I went in, because it grew back and went ingrown again, so like we went in to pull it and then put a little chemical on the root to just kill it so it doesn't grow back, which now it's growing back like a fucking troll. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But it's like not a normal nail. It's really weird. It's not ingrown though, so fuck it. But they gave me 4 shots. Waited like 10 minutes. I could feel fucking everything. Still just like kind of pricked the end of your toe. I was like, fuck. Yeah.
It starts to wear off, man.
Well, then so they give me 4 more. Still, they pricked my toe. I was like, dude, that fucking hurts. So they finally like kind of up it and give me, I think, 6 more. I was like, okay, I think it's numb. I can't feel what you're doing. I can kind of feel it. Like, I don't know. Let's just fucking
I feel like your fingers are like going numb. You're like, okay, it's probably working out.
Let's go for it. And then it's like, all right, cool, let's do it. So he goes in. He starts, when he was tearing it off the actual toe, it was fine. When he started getting close to the root, all of a sudden I just go. He's like, oh, you can feel that? I was like, yeah, but what, you're gonna fucking stop? Like, we don't have a choice.
Yeah,
we're fucking 90% of the way through, just to yank it off. That fucking sucked.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But all it took was like 1 time to get that anesthetic.
I have another anesthetic story, but
and then my body obviously just adapted to it.
That computer's fine because we're hooked up to the other computer.
It was nuts.
I saw it flashing or something.
Yeah, we're hooked up to the other computer, so we're good.
Being hooked up to whatever that was once was enough for my body to get some
Figure
sort
it
of
out.
fucking, like, that's just nuts.
I have one where I was like 14 or 15, and I was grinding on a car, and somebody stepped on my... Maybe.
All right.
I was rubbing nicely with a grinder.
Fair enough.
But somebody stepped on my hose and it shot me in the face. I was like, I don't know if I like.
What?
Like, I was grinding and they stepped on the hose as I was grinding, so it twisted the thing.
Oh, fuck me.
So, like, it shot me in the face. And I'm wearing glasses and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like,
Still.
we'll, like, see. Because, I'm like 14. I don't really know what I should or shouldn't do.
Just don't look at it yet.
Right. It was one of those, like, moments. So then, like, the next day it was still like, nah, I gotta go to the doctor. Go to the doctor, and he gives me, they basically eye drop you with, like, this local anesthetic stuff. And, he's like, I'm gonna do 3 and you shouldn't feel the 4th. Well, it was like 12 or 13 later.
I don't want to feel the first 3, motherfucker.
Well, it was a drop. It wasn't like squirting it in. It was.
Oh, okay. I'm picturing a needle going in your eye.
No.
It's like, I don't want to feel the first 3, dude.
No, it's like this external drop because your eyeball sucks it all in anyways.
Gotcha.
So it was like 12 later, and like finally it was like, that's kind of weird. Like this doctor I've known, we worked on his cars, like all this shit. Like he knows me, like this kind of stuff. He's fine.
Oh shit, that's just spicy.
Yeah. But he's like, okay, well that was kind of weird, but whatever. Like we're gonna scrape out the metal sliver or whatever that's in your eye. He's like, about an hour and a half, like it should start slowly coming back into pain. Like you'll start slowly feeling it again. So, by the way, if you ever get your eye scraped, it's the weirdest fucking thing on the planet.
I hate it. I've had that happen twice.
Yeah.
Especially in your eye, and it's like your foot getting caught in a trap, like a raccoon. You hear them like, you hear about them chewing their leg off or whatever to get out of it.
It's fucking weird. It's weird, and like he took the file to it because like it had like rusted in place a little bit. So he was like filing my eyeball, like trying to get this fucking piece of metal out.
Bro.
So like your eyeball's like flexing like all weird and shit. It's fucking wild. And you're just like, like you don't feel it, but you're like, this is the weirdest sensation ever. Because like you can feel it, it just doesn't hurt. The pressure's all weird.
The pressure,
yeah.
the pulling, but
and you're like, what the fuck? So he's like, that kind of sucks. He it took him a couple minutes to get it out. And he's like, okay, well, like you should be good. Like he patches my eyeballs up, and he's like, yeah, about an hour pain. It should slowly come into pain. It's gonna hurt. I walk fucking 10 feet down the hall and almost fucking hit the floor because it hurt so goddamn bad. Like it was just like immediate, like whoa, bam. Like and you can't like rub it or because it's eye patched up or like so you can't like you're just like in pain. You can't do
That's what I
anything.
mean. When you're in that situation, you feel so like out of control, and you feel like you just can't do anything. Right?
Yeah, and it was just like one of the worst like scenarios. I just remember like having an eye patch on for the fucking day. I was like, cool.
Right.
14 years old, this big old fucking gauze patch in your eye.
Yeah, it's like your
Dude, I was fascinated with like, cause I've never like, that was the first time I think I've ever been like numbed outside of like maybe a dentist for anything, cause I've never like broken any bones or whatever, so I've never had to really be in the hospital for surgery or anything. So just like the toe was the craziest thing that's ever fucking happened to me, like surgically, and I wouldn't even call it surgical. But like he's like, he's like he made sure he's like.
Could you imagine back in the day when they didn't have local treatment for that?
Right, where you got your hair cut, you also did dentistry work too, or something?
Yeah. Yeah, like 1700s teeth pulling.
I know, yeah. Let's go ahead and just take care of everything right now.
Brutal.
But like, I was fascinated. He's like, hey, also like, just so you know, like, you probably shouldn't wash. It's kind of crazy how they go in. They'll go in on the sides and kind of roll their pliers to get the outsides, and then just peel it back. He's like, you won't want to wash. It bleeds. It looks gross.
It looks, yeah, I mean, it looks like that.
Well, no, like when they're pulling it.
Yeah, it looks like that. I literally pulled that one out.
Kind of, yeah. So, but like, I was fast. So I'm laying there. I was like, I won't look. I'm just looking up.
But you have to.
That's the thing. I was like, if you like, whatever, I'll trust you. If you say it's that bad, I won't look. And then I could feel the tugging, pulling. Like, it didn't feel like a lot was going on down there. It's like, dude, what are you fucking doing? I looked down. He's like halfway through. I was like, I can't feel any of that. That's fucking awesome. So I'm just like staring at it. He's like almost done. He looks up. He's like, how long have you been watching? I was like, almost the whole time. This is fucking sick. I was
Well,
like,
at least you're not afraid of like blood and shit. Like I'm sure he's used to people being like,
just passing
can't.
out.
Like even like Amanda, who like
To the
my
point-
sister.
To the point where he doesn't even have it off my foot yet. I was like, can I keep that? I was like, I'm super fast.
I'm good. We just put fucking
Well,
booze
I
in
had to
that
put it in a
fucking
little cup so I could show Michaela. I was like, not even off my foot yet. I was like, can I keep that, or do you like legally have to dispose of it?
Now I can give you whatever comes out of your body. I don't give a fuck.
So it's technically my property.
Yeah.
But like, I also understand if it's like a biohazard bullshit.
My
thing.
sister, like, she was talking like today, like even like, you know, she works in, you know, they make medical equipment.
Dude, these are fucking. Sorry.
Yeah, I threw mine away. I'm kind of mad.
Really?
The chicken sandwich was fucking perfect
They're
though.
stale. They're kind of cold.
Yeah, but the chicken sandwich was fucking perfect.
I've been rocking a vegan diet for a while. If I try one, I'll give you the ultimate answer with how they taste right now.
Gross. I'm sure they're gross.
Gross?
They're not like
take your
crisp
word for it.
anymore. They're just kind of soggy and cold. And
But she makes so
They're all fries.
she R&D's medical like surgeon equipment. So like sometimes like they'll like, you know, be cutting open a fucking pig or whatever. Like this is what she does for like surgical stuff. So like she's just like kind of blood and like guts and like that kind of shit. And like she was talking about like on her way back about like, you know, some like thing where her the male fucking coworkers were like, that's fucking gross as shit. Like it was like a bunch of pig uterus in a blood pool, like in like a bowl when they were working with the other day. And like they were like, I couldn't get that shit, get rid of it or whatever. So it's like, I see that shit at least once a month. Like this kind of like a joke. And then I'm pulling that fucking toenail off and she's like, ugh. And I'm like,
it's different though.
I feel like,
I
you
used
know,
to
when you're
human
younger,
shit. Human shit's different.
I don't know.
like when you're younger and you see that stuff, like not having experienced it yet, I had a strong stomach until I started getting more injured and seeing other people go through stuff. Is when I completely
become
You
more
know,
sensitive
when
to
I-
it.
right, yeah. It's
When I
you
am-
can feel it, you know, when somebody explains it, like your toe or something.
Right.
Like
It's
that,
like
it
more
makes you
relatable.
cringe.
Like you
It's-
can-
I don't know, like,
Yeah.
so, like,
Right, relatable.
I'll put it this way, like,
Yeah.
so I was, you know, I pulled that off, and it was gross looking, like, that's where a man was like, nah. And, I, you know, I cleaned it up or whatever, like, multiple times, that kind of shit. And when I was driving back, like, from Boulder, I was, like, thinking about it, and it was more painful to think about it than it was to actually happen. As soon as, like, if I'm injured or whatever's happening, I'm Gucci. Like, no problems. Like, when I broke my legs, I did all the shit that I needed to fucking do. Like, I'm super no problem. But thinking about it, like, the next time, I'm like, ah, like, I watch, like, videos of, like, someone breaking their legs, and it hurts more than when it actually fucking happened. And I'm like, why does my brain function like that? It makes no sense. Like, me, I was like, yeet, like, pulling it off, no problem. But, like, thinking about it, pulling it off, on like right before I called you, like I was like I had to call you for like because I was just thinking about it,
Yeah.
and it was worse than me actually doing it, and that made no. It still makes no sense talking about it out loud. That's what my brain was doing.
What's also really weird is, like, I'm getting comfortable with it. I guess it's really not that weird. I guess it just depends on how you think. Like, when we were on the phone, I just hopped on. I was butt ass naked. There's something weird about like being on the phone with another dude
When you're butt ass naked.
Like, 'cause that's the second time it's happened recently. The other time was my fucking boss calling.
Yeah, we talked about that.
I had
Actually,
to answer. I was just like, I'm butt ass naked on the phone with my boss. It just feels weird. Like, it doesn't matter. He has no idea.
Right.
But I know I'm naked, talking to another dude, especially professionally. one thing for your friend,
Right.
another thing for your fucking boss.
Well,
Hey,
that is.
man, even if you're in the same room, it should be alright. You know, it's just a dick.
Yeah.
You jackass
I know,
people do it all the
that's-
time. You know?
I
But
just-
still, see, the
it's
same thing
weird.
applies though. It's one thing with my friend. It's another thing with my boss. Like,
I mean, it's one of those like scenarios like people like really like, you know, when you're like bantering like at the urinal. Some people are like really like, nah, dude, shut the fuck up.
you fuck.
I
Well,
can't
like-
concentrate.
Right.
man.
But people like me, I'm like, I'm cracking jokes and like I'm just doing whatever. You know,
I'm talking to you.
I'll roll in there, gonna touch my dick, like situation. I don't give a fuck. Like that doesn't bother me whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I guess like you know, I mean, I'm not like butt ass naked all that often in my life either.
I'm only like butt ass naked from out of the shower to being clothed. But recently, that's when I get phone calls. It's like, well, I need to answer. Something's happening.
I mean, it's fair. That's just an odd. I just never looked at it that way, to be honest.
Yeah, like I personally don't care, but I know there are people out there who would like not answer just because they're naked.
Right, like I won't do like the if I'm gonna sit on the toilet, like even if I'm like done,
It's
like
it's different with a toilet
I can't do it.
because you can hear the fucking difference.
Right, and like for me, I'm like I won't answer the phone.
Like if I would have been on the toilet, and it depends what the toilet is. Like I was in the bathroom, it's a bigger bathroom, so I wasn't worried about like it echoing or like I was actually in my closet. I wasn't worried about it echoing. Like the bathroom has its own little separate room in the bathroom.
Like if you were in the fucking toilet
Like,
itself.
on the toilet, it's got its own small little room with just a fucking toilet. That's all that's in there. It echoes like crazy.
That's because your closet's like in the bathroom.
Yeah. So there's a separated stinky room, and in there I would answer the phone because you answer and it just sounds like this. And they're like, "Are you on the fucking toilet right now?" There's only one plate. Like it's such a unique environmental sound.
Right, and you just never want to be like caught in a position, right?
Because and whether that person is gonna call you out or not, you both know you're on
Right.
a fucking toilet.
It's like my dad will talk like on the phone like to customers like taking a piss.
That's even worse.
Like, I'll do it to you guys when we're playing games or whatever. When we're talking through the microphone, I'll just have my wireless headset on,
That's
and I'll go take a piss. Like, it was the best when I was next door, and I could just go out back and take a piss on the fucking grass, because nobody could tell. It didn't make any noise difference.
Well, until I learned how to mute my mic when I peed, you guys just straight up listened to me pee.
Or you can time out the conversation perfectly when you just tap mute, like when you're flushing the toilet, you run out and mute it real quick.
Well, like, I had the mute on my headset, so I'd run in, mute it really quick, pee, and then be done. But there were certain times where I'd forget to mute it, and then I'm just going. So they
Dude,
just
yesterday was so silly when like
So on the internet, there is voice bits of my pee.
definitely
Yeah,
me too, definitely like 100%.
yeah. So whatever. And I don't.
Yesterday was so silly when I hopped on and you like couldn't hear me or whatever, and I could just hear you breathing into your mic.
Oh yeah. I figured out I had the chat volume mixer on my headset
All the
turned
way
all
down?
the way to volume and no chat.
Oh,
And I just happened to pan back over to the Discord for a second after I minimized the Z League page. And I saw you in there. I was like flashing green. I was like, oh fuck. Shit.
yeah. So he's just sitting there like. I don't know what he's fucking doing. Like we're preparing for this fucking tournament that we did yesterday, and he's just. You were reading the patch
I
notes,
was
like.
reading patch notes and adjusting loadouts.
And it was just funny. He was making no other noises but just breathing.
Heavy breathing, reading.
It sounds like an old school.
That's how out of
Adam
shape I am.
Sandler, like skit on a soundtrack. Or something.
Right.
What the hell happened to me?
It was pretty funny though. Like it would have been like a good thing if I like stupid we weren't recording it because I'd be like, hey, what's up? Yo, like I was like trying to get his attention somewhere. And I was just about to fucking put like the chat like into the fucking Discord, like saying like, hey, I'm on
in here,
yeah.
dude. It's fucking. Yeah, I got this bad habit that I need to stop. Like if I've got my mic right in front of me, I'll lip it like a horse. And I'll just play with this thing.
You're like,
Because mine's more squared off, so it's at this nice little edge right here, and I'll just fucking nibble at the edge.
So
not nibble, it's just lip.
so
It's all
so
lip.
like your natural is like just the tip.
Yeah. Well, so when you heard me breathing, I was like right here, just like lipping the fucking microphone, just playing with the fucking thing. That's what I was doing.
It's such a silly. Why?
I don't know. I think it just feels good to me, I guess. I just sit there and just kind of play with it a little bit.
It's again, you don't even need it that close to your face.
I don't.
Honestly,
But it was right
I
here.
watched part of the podcast from last week, and I was like this far away the whole time. There was one instance where I came close, and it was just like,
It's way louder.
You know, and I forgot to check a setting because mine has like 2 settings, like near and far. It's been on near the whole time. I need to see what it sounds like on far. So then I could even have it like a boom mic above me, not even in camera shot, and I might still catch it perfectly fine.
Well, these ones you can be fucking hearing, or like when I farted in the fucking bathroom, it picked it
I
up.
picked it up. That was funny as shit.
like everybody just got quiet.
Me and
for
Kate
like,
are having a conversation.
it was you, Sarah, and Eric.
It was Sarah and Eric. That's
Yeah,
what we're talking
and, like,
about some fucking book or some shit.
It just got quiet for like half a second, and all you hear is like.
and the deep background.
Like in the bathroom, like I'm just taking a
door
piss.
closed.
Like I'm not doing anything crazy. Like it wasn't like a big old ripper or nothing. It was just a little fucking yeah, and you can just hear it. They have it on TikTok.
It was pretty fucking funny. Because Eric, it was so funny because
Eric just fucking continued.
So
my
we're
brother.
talking about, I think it was like books or some shit, and Sarah, as soon as it happens, Sarah and I look at each other and just bust out laughing. He doesn't even know what the fuck.
My brother
happened.
is just fucking.
He keeps talking about whatever book he's talking about. We're not listening, so we're dying laughing. And he just I don't know what the fucking book he was talking about. It was funny how he had no react. He probably knew. He's just kind of that way.
Was he wearing the shirt with his face too?
No, he was not. But I have lots of ideas for more shirts on Eric's face. Because that shit is so funny.
Great.
I love my brother, but he
Hell
is.
yeah.
He is one of the funniest people on the planet. He does not try to be. Like he's got
the way he is just funny.
And again, like it's not like it's fucking like cringy or creepy or it just. He's Eric. Like nobody's afraid of him. Nobody's like that guy's fucking annoying or he just is him. And he's one of the oddest people I've ever met in my entire life. And it's weird that I grew up with him. That he's like that because you see me and Amanda.
They're pretty similar.
Yeah, totally.
Dude, Amanda, I fucking love Amanda. She's so funny.
Yeah, she's also hilarious.
Some of those, that's the best people though when they're just completely just themselves.
Right. And I'm lucky that me, Eric, and Amanda are just, we don't, there is almost no fucks about what other people think at all. Amanda's a lot nicer about it. Recently, there's actually been some stories that's been like pretty funny. That Amanda like getting over that just being nice to be nice scenario when she doesn't need to be. Like, she told me one today, she was like talking about like fucking one of her coworkers, and she was like, that's like leaving that she doesn't like, and it was just one of those like, I'm glad that you said that you don't like one of your coworkers because we all have a coworker that we don't like. That exists. Where Amanda would not even 5 years ago, like 2 years ago, wouldn't have said anything poorly about a person.
But it's even funny like if you don't know her because she looks like such like a sweet little person. Like, if you don't know her and you see her walking down the street, you're like, oh my god, she looks like this sweet, just little girl, woman lady thing, whatever. And she's not a little girl. And then you look down her shirt, and it's a fucking Care Bear, and she says,
oh,
cunt.
I love it. Yeah, I bought her a shirt. It's like a Care Bear, and it has like the thing. And again, it just says cunt on it.
It's so funny. It looks like just a sweet, innocent person. Does that shirt say cunt?
Hey man, depends on where you come from. Cunt's not a bad word.
Right, well.
It's only bad
Australia,
here for whatever fucking reason.
Yeah, one of my buddies
in,
is British.
like
he lived in
England,
Australia
Britain,
for a
the
couple
UK,
months.
they don't fucking care.
He's like, if
Australia,
you're
they
called
don't
a shit
care.
cunt, those are fighting words. But if you're called a mad cunt,
Yay!
but a mad cunt is like accepting you into the brotherhood, you know. Shit cunt is fight words, but a mad
Well,
cunt.
even then, it's not even that bad of a word.
It's not. We
Well,
just
yeah,
made
it's
it
just a
something
word
terrible.
after all, right? Just like fuck. Like fuck, it's just a word.
Fuck is turned into one of those words where everybody says it. My biggest thing is when people like try to they'll say like frick or some bullshit like that, like fudge, like just to get around it. The N word is one of them. When they say that, it's basically just saying the actual word.
Oh yeah, you know what you're
Everyone knows what you're saying.
Right.
Everyone
so it's like
knows.
this like giant cop out of like, if you're gonna say it, just fucking say it. Like,
Right.
because you are saying it. You're just skirting around the rules.
The only thing I wish I could do that is if I'm around Dorothy. I wish I had the cognitive control to like immediately be like fuzzy or anything else besides
Right.
fuck.
And that's only because society looks so poorly upon those words. Whereas if we just stopped caring about the word itself and look at the connotation.
It was one of those things where like if you like, if you guys didn't make it this bad thing, people wouldn't care.
Right, it wouldn't be this bad.
It wouldn't be a bad thing, and it wouldn't be as fun to say.
Right.
But it's one of these forbidden words that, like, everyone sees a kid yell "fuck" and they're like, "Oh."
I find it hilarious.
I do too.
I would be a struggle as a parent because anytime that like a little kid says "fuck," "shit," "damn," "bitch," like anything, I die laughing every time. That fucking one video of that one kid saying, "I need some fucking help with the jam," or "I need some help with the fucking jam," to his mom. Ever seen this video?
What did you say?
He's like a little boy. He looks just like I look.
Are you just making a sandwich or
He's
something?
like making a sandwich. His mom's like making a TikTok or something.
Yeah.
And he goes, and he says it real loud. "I need some help with the fucking jam." And she like turns around and is like, "What did you say?" He's like, "I need some help with the fucking jam." Like, this is like super nonchalant. And it was like the funniest thing.
Well, so that's how I am with Dorothy. The other day, she was playing with toys. She was doing something, and she's just minding her own business. She's in her own world, and I hear her say "shit" immediately followed by "damn it." And like, I'm doing everything I can to not bust out laughing. Because if she sees me laughing after she said that, it's gonna be her new favorite word because it makes Daddy laugh.
Yeah, she's a jokester.
So I look at fucking Michaela and I'm just trying to like hold my shit together. Like a little bit out, and I was like, "Fuck, that's right, I can't laugh, or she's gonna think it's funny."
Also, it doesn't really help that Michaela lets her watch this sometimes.
True.
That's where she's learning it all.
Because I'm not like my language is definitely not role model-ish.
It says on all the pages that this stream is not for minors. Okay.
But I remember I saw
It's so hard not to
memory
laugh though. It's so
from
funny.
Facebook from years ago, and I remember the time one of our customers their car broke down or whatever, and they were coming down, they were hanging out at the RC track or whatever, just hanging out, and they so I went to go get their car with the truck and trailer, and they're like, "Hey, why don't you bring my son?" And he's probably 10, 11, 12, something like that, but they're very sheltered, and me driving, especially the truck and trailer at 5 p.m. on a Thursday is not the most friendly person to be around as me. And I thought about it too when I posted. I was like, "Well, 11-year-old just a lot of layers that he did not know prior to this fucking car ride." And that's just kind of what it is. I working in the shop my entire life, I've been able to cuss and say whatever, nobody cared.
Oh, it's normal.
And I learned that it was, fine at the shop, and then once I stopped going to school, that's just what it was.
Yeah.
And I no longer care. I when I was looking for a job 3 or 4 years ago, I interviewed at Comcast for a customer service job. It was a good one. You started at 50K, and then you got commissions also. The average person makes 80 to fucking 90K doing that job. I was like, yeah. But apparently in the interview I said shit or something. And they're like, "Well, we can't hire you because of that." And I was like,
What?
yeah, that was what disqualified you. Otherwise you were awesome. That's just part of the rules. And if you say any curse words during the time you're there, you're like, "Nah, dude."
No, it's just a word, man. It was created for a specific reason to describe something. There's no reason why.
Well, that's part of all the problem right
slang
now.
But you know what I mean?
Well, that's part of the problem right now with everybody, everything getting canceled, everybody being so fucking sensitive.
Right. Well, what sucked about that job too is I knew all the people that were on the hiring team because they worked at Center Partners. When I worked at Center Partners,
I worked at fucking Center
when
Partners.
did you work there?
Dude, so long ago. That was one of my first jobs, man. I worked at some bullshit call place downtown Old Town Square in the Galleria upstairs, and then Center Partners is off of Harmony, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
so I worked. Yeah. I remember doing a week training. I was all psyched because they paid you $10.50 an hour or something.
Yeah, it was something pretty decent back I worked there in 2007.
It was 15 years ago or something.
Yeah, it was 2007.
So that was probably about 15.
Yeah.
Around the same time.
So
That's funny.
Do you remember the department you worked in?
I think it was more customer service. I remember there was one of my managers came on a call, and I didn't follow through like all the rebuttals or whatever.
Oh.
And it was the second time that they were listening in on me, and they fucking walked me outside.
They have to there.
Dude, so crazy. Like, just completely humiliated. Like, I didn't
When
follow
I
the
got-
rebuttals to try to resell or upsell, so they fucking fired my ass. Came to my desk, and then he, like, pressured me, threw me outside, sort of a feeling.
When I got canned from that place, which they made you quit. If you remember, when you got canned, they made you quit.
Or, like, yeah, it was like a mutual agreement.
Yeah, because they didn't want to fucking pay I learned this later.
Unemployment.
They didn't want to pay unemployment. I didn't know that when I was 20, 21 years old. I didn't know that shit. But I got canned, even though, so I did lots of overtime. And one day, like, I signed up for, like, overtime or whatever. It's called green time. And I signed up for it, and I was like, there were several times where I was, like, a little, like, late on the green time or whatever. But I was, like, signed up for it. It was, you know, it was overtime money. Like, they saved money for me not being there for that fucking half an hour or whatever. And my manager, when I was first there, was like, she was like, I don't care. You're here all the time. If it happens, it's no big deal. She was cool shit. But then I traded supervisors, and he was like, like he just became a supervisor. He's like, I'm gonna do everything correct. And then he fucking canned me, and it was like, and then like 2 weeks later, like they're like calling, like, hey, like, do you want to like come back to work, like not under him? And I was like, no, like I'm just not doing it.
I'm gonna be like, oh,
They fucking that place, like I met a bunch of cool people and like lots of friends and shit, but like the fucking again, you only made $10.50 forever.
right.
Like and supervisors only made like 18, and you're like, that's not.
Well, at the time, it was
Yeah,
fucking,
it was like when you're
oh,
20
dude,
years
I'm gonna be
old.
rich, man. 18 bucks an hour, fuck yeah.
When you're 20, you thought that was fucking good money.
Oh, yeah.
But now, like, I make double that, and I'm like, this is not enough money.
It's probably this Fort
Cost of living, man.
Well, the reality is, cost of living is higher. Mostly housing is higher.
Yeah.
But almost everything else is about the same, realistically.
It's not too different.
So, like, it's one of those things where we're like, it's just, when you learn that 60, 70, 80K is not enough money to survive in modern society on, like, a real level, versus when we were 20 years old making fucking $400 or $500 a week, you know.
It was
like,
enough somehow.
Right. I still don't know how I drank so fucking much when I was fucking 22 years old.
Because you didn't eat. It was all booze.
I ate too, but I was fed at the shop, so that's you're right. I also slept at the shop.
Yeah, I think Evan was talking about a party at my
Yeah.
old house on the Starflower, and we literally took the shelves and all the food and threw it away so we could fit a keg in the fridge.
Yeah, I did drink a
Priorities,
lot.
man.
At the time, it seemed correct for sure. I don't know, sometimes I almost miss those days, but
I still kind of am a degenerate. Again, I skipped half a day at work. It doesn't say anything anyway. I just fucking left.
well, I haven't been working.
I work here. I work here. So it's not a big deal. And I'm told I can do that, but I didn't. I was like, I'm supposed to be on chat. And I was all, nah, dude, work sucks. Fuck it. And just did fucking nothing all afternoon. So like, I'm still kind of a degenerate, but like,
Working from home is like the dream job now, man. It's like everyone wanting to live out of a van. You know, it was looked down upon, like living in a van down by
right
the river.
now it's like a thing.
Right.
I don't know. Like working from home is awesome. Again, like I can get up and fucking roll out of bed, brush my teeth, work, and do the thing. But also when you're like me that likes to talk to people, and I just sit here all week and talk to nobody.
We need to hang out more during the weekend. I'm doing the same shit.
Yeah, come fucking.
You talk to me like 3 times a week.
Yeah, but
You see me once in person.
I
3
know.
other nights
it's,
we talk.
I get that, but it's not the same as like here. And this is the only night
It's
that I.
better than this.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not.
This is some raw shit for a podcast.
It is not better than this for sure.
No, it's not. It's fun, but it's not better than this.
Right.
Is this regular Maker's Mark, by the way? I've been looking at this fucking thing. Is this like?
It's Maker's Mark 46. I think it's the better of the two. I don't.
It's slightly
I
better.
was wondering why. I was going to ask if you know, I don't know.
Do you want some? Take it. I don't.
Well, just me. You're adding to Coca-Cola.
I don't give a shit. I'll put Scotch in
That's-
fucking
that's just
Coca-Cola.
to make it
I don't
just
give a
not
fuck.
normal
As long as
soda.
it's not like
Fair
super
enough.
expensive, I don't give a shit.
My girlfriend's a bartender, and she's always kind of been the type that's like, well, it's aged. Like, you don't want to destroy the flavor. Everybody has to tell you, you just get the well whiskey and
Maker's Mark is like barely a flavor.
Right?
Some people really love Makers though.
It's
So
on like
Do
the.
you have a little sipper or a shot glass?
I can get you a shot glass.
If there was like a
Oh,
shelf,
it's not a big pain.
No, this is upstairs. We're putting it right back.
when there's
I'll get
that
you a little rock splash. You just put a little bit, whatever, how much you want in there.
when there's that shelf between bottom and middle,
Thanks, man.
that shelf right there, that's there.
Oh, okay.
Again, as far as like my favorite drink, by the way, like ever, is a Jameson and Coke with some fucking grenadine on top.
With grenadine.
It's my favorite fucking thing. It tastes fucking delicious. I will drink myself completely stupid on it. That's why I don't ever do it.
What's the
I know we're drinking today.
what's the children version of that? Is it like a Sherry Poppins or something, or
It's kind of like a Shirley Temple.
Shirley Temple?
Yeah.
Why did it say Sherry Pop?
It's
That's a Simpsons.
Sherry Poppins?
Simpsons episode.
That
I
should be
totally
it.
know.
Might be.
It is. I don't know how I confused it with that,
Yeah,
but
Shirley Temple.
Sherry Bobbins.
That's not bad. Like, it's good to sip on its own too. Mainly, we mixed it just because I think it's like the only fucking whiskey up there besides the Colorado Fire, which is fucking garbage.
Is that that's the pepper? The half pepper that's.
No, so the Colorado Fire up there, it's like a cinnamon whiskey, kind of like a Fireball type thing,
Sure.
but it tastes like dicks.
It was trying to be a fireball
It
thing.
doesn't sound very good now.
It's not.
It's not good.
Cinnamon.
Just smell it.
cinnamon.
It's gone.
Nice. Wait, did someone take it or just throw it away?
No, it's gonna be drinking.
Thanks. Man.
Ooh!
Yeah, of
God,
course, man.
have some sort of like standard.
Ooh, I was gonna
Maybe.
say, I almost asked for help opening that.
You got it.
If you're feeling real weird, mix some of that. in there, too.
You had some of the soju last week because Avery was here.
Oh, is this the same thing?
Yeah.
It's the rice wine.
Yeah.
Dude, that thing's been here, but it's like shitty rice wine. It's not
Literally, that's the first like 2 or 3 weeks of fucking podcasting we've had that. That's been here since January of last year.
like if that was sake, I would have tanked it.
Right.
It would be gone. But that shit's fucking gross.
Avery likes it, so he can like it. That's fine.
It's like dirty rice water
Right.
that's just been left outside for a while.
Oh, it's not bad. At
No.
first it's like, oh my god. Oh.
No, it's okay liquor. Like that's what I was saying. Like, I'll put really expensive whiskey into stuff. I have no problem. When you get to like some like scotches, like I'll have a little bit more trouble with that. Like, if you have a $500 bottle of scotch,
You don't mix that.
right? You just kind of that one's a for sure straight. And I'm not much of a straight whiskey drinker outside of shots. I'll do shots all night, but like just a sipper, it's not my thing. But put some
I
Coke
will,
in the
but
bitch.
not
Like,
like out. Like if I'm at home chilling, I'll
Yeah,
sip on some whiskey.
I absolutely do not care. I will put it in other stuff and I'll do shots of stuff, but I will not sip it.
Like yeah, if I'm going
I'm
out,
just a weird. I'm a weird drinker to be perfectly honest. I'll drink anything, but like my preferences, it's not for
You
me.
just do it real quick and.
But
Yeah.
also lately I did get.
It's either
like,
beers or my standard.
Lately I did get like the cool sphere and cube molds for ice. And
Oh.
that just makes it taste better.
Oh,
for
like
me.
it's actually like a penguin fucking ice cube, or is it like they have square?
Like the
There was one that the balls aren't as big as I thought they'd be. They were like little 1-inch balls.
Oh, okay,
Ping
yeah.
pong balls was not as cool, but it's a good like 1.5-inch square. So in like a rock glass,
yeah.
it's a good amount.
Sure.
And so that's the perfect stuff to like cut your whiskey too. Is like put in ice to cut your whiskey or your scotch because
You cut it and then you also let it breathe.
right
Yeah,
a good
calm it down.
a
Let
good
all that
scotch you
toxic
should
shit burn off the
a
top.
good scotch like we went to it was a Glenmorangie whiskey event, a cigar event. It was a cigar whiskey event, and which I miss those. Those were so fun.
The hot grandma.
What?
Wait, I want to hear about this now.
No, the microwave. Remember I was talking about how my grandpa used to do like heat it up.
Oh, no, like grandma. Yeah, you know we call it grandma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Different kind of hot grandma.
Oh.
He might like hot grandmas though.
It's like a good like palate cleanser type of thing. You take grandma, but then you also like heat it up. Fancy people.
We were smoking cigars and we had fucking scotch. So like.
I'm not super classy. I don't know what that means. I guess, but hot grandma. I don't know how hot she would be.
No, grandma's
Wait,
grandma.
you don't know
Yeah.
what means.
talking about grandma?
So yeah, you know what Grand Marnier is?
Oh, grandma.
Like the orange grandma.
Now he's understanding.
And then you heat it up,
would
and then
heat
it
it up.
becomes a hot grandma.
Yeah, someone at the bar before I came here, because I haven't really been drinking that much. It was funny because last Friday was the only time I was drinking when I came back here to do the podcast, and then tonight was the same.
Well, it can be your Friday fucking technique.
But-
That's where you let it just loose, and that's what you do.
Dude,
That's kind of what I do, honestly, too. Like, because
super loose.
I mean, this week I did get pretty shit faced on fucking Monday night, but I guess it was Tuesday at that point by the time I got there. But yeah, typically my nights to drink are Friday, Saturdays, and that's all I really. Sometimes Sundays if we go to fucking Los Tarascos for 2-for-1 margaritas.
Oh god.
So
I didn't
Friday's
wanna go back
my
there
night
again.
Friday's my night to drink and go nuts.
So like, but yeah, I mean, it could be your if you want to hang out, like, then this is your night to drink it up.
Yep.
Sure.
But yeah, so like it was like they like told us like for the scotch though is like basically a regular straw full of water into your like shot and a half of scotch.
Just a bit.
As that's what you like. That's how you cut it down. So if you put it on ice,
Perfect.
you can usually like on a big square like that one, you should be able to do like 2 or 3 with that ice to make it perfect.
Yep. Yeah, it's good.
Because it opens it up and like lets it breathe a lot more, and then it's it also cuts that turpentine taste that can happen with scotch.
Yeah, and then in general, just like whiskey, scotch, bourbon, whatever, you put a little bit of water or ice in it, and then you also technically are supposed to let it sit for like 5 minutes.
I mean, I've had other things.
You let the harsh
water
alcohol kind of burn off the top
down. Right.
before,
Right.
and then they're fucking great. Still, I haven't had, which is still funny to me, a smoother, I think it was whiskey, than that fucking 50-year-old.
So yeah,
Dude, that shit was so good.
So my aunt and uncle, they live down the street, and they're not like big drinkers or whatever, but like for their wedding, like years and years ago,
like 50 years
like
ago.
we're talking like 1973 scenario, they like got a bottle of Crown, back when it was the Seagram's Crown. It wasn't by itself; it was a Seagram's Crown.
They had the big big novelty bottle,
It was a big boy,
like a
and
Magnum version of the
I mean, it wasn't even half gone.
When you go to like a nightclub and you see like the big ass fucking version.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
picture a giant Crown bottle. Like seriously, it was like this tall, like a big
Like
novelty
going
bottle.
to a Crown pub, I've seen some pretty decent.
Right, they have big ones up there.
Yeah,
So they basically have that, and since they're not big drinkers, like it rarely ever comes out. We did like a race or whatever, and they
it was
brought
the
it
Polar
out.
Plunge.
Yeah, we did the 5K, and we jumped in the horse tooth in January. And they had pulled this out, and I'm like, I don't really like Crown Straight, but fuck it. It's whatever.
Yeah.
And we drank it, and it was like the smoothest fucking booze ever.
For-
It was like,
It's been aging for 50 years. It's
It
just
was-
smooth.
it was fantastic, to be honest. It was the best, like, I'm like, man, I could drink that entire fucking bottle and not even notice that I drank it until I got hammered.
Yeah, it's super smooth. Tastes great. It was nice.
Isn't that how most alcohol is? Like you just put it in something and let it sit for a while.
Right. So, like, typical whiskeys is that they're in barrels for a specified period of time.
They're already aged by the time they're in the bottle.
Right, and that's why, like, a lot of, like, distillery booze is not very good because they can't keep enough, they can't age it long enough. They don't have the space.
Right. It's more fresh and it's not great when you're drinking like whiskey.